So far, my iPhone has not become conscious. Every day I look at it and say, no, not yet. Last question. Many scientists believe we will soon create machines which can think far more powerfully than humans. Is it possible that such machines could become self-aware and develop consciousness? And if so, could a spiritual machine arise? Or can such properties exist only through a biological substrate? That takes us into science fiction. A very fundamental question that mainstream science has an answer for that, but I believe a change will come. The origin of consciousness. Is consciousness an epiphenomenon? If you don't like that word, let's use byproduct. Is consciousness a byproduct of the physical brain? Or, in other words, is consciousness created by the material brain? Or is consciousness ultimately independent of the brain and only manifests in a particular way through the biological brain, in the same way that a radio receiver does not produce the radio program, but it receives it and then it gives it a particular form, and so we can receive it through it. It is a medium for transmitting consciousness. But the consciousness does not originate in the radio receiver. And as I've already dwelt for 2 minutes on this particular image of radio receiver, you see what I believe to be the case, that the consciousness is not produced by the brain, but it uses the brain. But that's up to you. It's not ultimately decisive what you believe here. Is it possible that machine achieve such complexity that they can become vehicles for consciousness? If the brain does not produce consciousness, which I believe we are going to realize soon even in the mainstream, if the brain does not produce consciousness but is a conduit for consciousness,